The message came in the middle of an ordinary afternoon, the kind that usually carried no emotional weight. "We gave your seat to the dog," his mother texted. "It's more comfortable that way." There was no apology, no hesitation, just the assumption that he would adjust, as he always had. He read it once, then set the phone down on the kitchen counter. The sound it made against the marble was softer than he expected. After a moment, he typed back, "Enjoy, nothing else." No argument, no explanation, no second message trying to reclaim space that had already been reassigned. To anyone watching from the outside, it would have looked like indifference, but inside him something small and familiar tightened, not breaking, not exploding, just settling into a new position. He had been displaced before, not always loudly, not always cruelly, just consistently. Seats at tables, decisions in conversations, versions of events where he was present but not centered. He didn't call anyone that day. Instead, he opened a folder on his laptop that most people in his life had never seen. Legal documents, property records, architectural plans. A place in Aspen existed there, real in a way that did not require anyone's permission to validate it. $15 million of silence and snow and space that no one in his family had ever thought to ask about, not because he hid it out of spite, but because no one had ever asked him who he was when he wasn't accommodating them. The family gathering was scheduled without him needing to confirm anything. It was assumed he would attend. He always did. This time, he didn't correct the assumption. Instead, he sent a simple message to the group chat. "Use the house. Everything's already set up." No one asked what he meant. They arrived expecting familiarity. A space that belonged to the family narrative, comfortable, predictable, slightly chaotic in the way they liked. What they didn't understand was that the space they were entering had already been redefined, not by anger, by ownership. The day unfolded without him physically present, but not absent. There was a live feed, not theatrical, not hidden. Just an open security system view that he occasionally checked the way others might check the weather. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Guests laughing, chairs moved around, someone complaining about seating arrangements again lightly, as if it were still a harmless family habit. Then the small details began to misalign with expectation. Staff moving with quiet professionalism that didn't match a casual family property. Doors that required access codes. A mention of property protocol that someone repeated nervously. Unsure if it was a joke, his mother's voice, sharper now, cut through the audio feed. "This is our son's place. There must be a mistake." But the certainty in her words didn't land the way she expected. It met silence instead, procedural, unbothered silence. And then the shift, not dramatic at first, just presence. Security personnel at the entrance speaking into radios, then local authorities arriving not with aggression, but with the calm attention of people confirming jurisdiction. Questions were asked, documents checked, ownership verified against records that did not bend toward family belief or assumption. The word trespass was not used loudly. It didn't need to be. It hung in the air anyway. On the screen, his relatives began to understand that they were not in a shared family space. They were in someone else's controlled property, someone they had always categorized as peripheral. Back in the kitchen of his apartment, he watched without expression. There was no satisfaction in it. Not really. Just clarity. People behaved differently when the invisible agreements they relied on were revealed to never have existed. On the feed, his mother tried again. "He would have wanted us here," she said, less certain now. But even that sentence sounded like it belonged to an older version of reality, one that no longer had legal standing. The officers spoke briefly with someone off camera. A decision was made, not emotional, not personal, just final in the way procedures often are when clarity arrives late. The family was asked to leave, no shouting, no spectacle, just the slow, awkward gathering of belongings and dignity that no one quite knew how to carry at the same time. He didn't intervene, he didn't need to. What happened next wasn't punishment. It was consequence finding its correct shape. Later that evening, messages began to arrive, some confused, some defensive, one or two careful, almost fragile, asking what had happened, as if the event itself might be negotiable in hindsight. He didn't reply immediately. When he finally did, it wasn't an explanation. "It was never shared ownership," he wrote. Then he put the phone down again. Outside, the night continued without interruption. No celebration followed. No victory marked the moment. There was only a quiet rearrangement of understanding, happening slowly in other people's minds. And for him, something equally quiet settled into place. Not triumph, not revenge, but a different kind of distance, not from them, from the expectation that he had ever been less than fully present in his own life.